Welcome to the Drents Museum. It's a privilege to have you here in Assen, in our museum, one of the oldest in the Netherlands. Because of the pandemic, we had to postpone the Frida Kahlo exhibition with 1 year. But now we are really very happy to announce that the exhibition will take place in autumn of this year. We have a really strong exhibition policy. In the past, we had the Terracotta Army from China, we had the Dead Sea Scrolls from Israel, and now we have all the way from Mexico, Frida Kahlo. In our exhibition program, we have a strong emphasis on realisms, and Frida Kahlo really fits into that program. Already 10 years ago, we started the preparations for these exhibitions by writing a letter to Mr. Olmedo of the Olmedo Museum in Mexico City. And then we went with our team to Mexico City again to negotiate. We also went to the Casa Azul, one of the most famous Frida places all over the world, with people queuing up all the time to see her precious and beautiful stuff over there. And now she will come to Assen. And I must say, I'm really proud to have Frida here.
Today, Frida Kahlo is seen not only as one of the most famous artists of the 20th century, but also as an icon with star status. A whole commercial world was built around her image, in which everyone can own a piece of Kahlo. This commercialization has even been given a name, Frida Mania. Her image with the eyebrows, the special hairstyle and the Mexican clothes is often the only thing a lot of people know about her. But the story of Frida Kahlo is so much more than her image. In the exhibition in the Drents Museum, we want to make the step from her image to her identity. We want to shed light on how culture, politics, gender, disability and national identity influenced her life, her style and her taboo-breaking art. Frida Kahlo achieved iconic status by setting her own rules and making no concessions. Her ideals of equality for all, despite class, gender, race or religion, were progressive. She was a talented artist with revolutionary spirit. Her troubled life was defined by two main factors, health and love. Due to polio and a serious bus accident, she suffered almost constant pains and underwent numerous operations over the years. What gave her the strength to go on was her great love for art, for her husband, the artist Diego Rivera, and for Mexico and its culture. Because of her physical defects, Kahlo was often confined to bed and found inspiration in her immediate surroundings. She painted self-portraits interlaced with symbolism from her personal life. The relationship with Rivera and her broken body are often key issues in her paintings. Physical problems did not prevent Frida Kahlo from traveling and meeting people. She had an enormous network consisting of people who were influential not only in the art world but also in politics. Kahlo grew up in the time of the Mexican Revolution and was a convinced communist. She also expressed these aspects with great force in her paintings, not only in her artworks, but also through her daring sense of fashion and beauty. She left an incredible impression. So, although her life was largely determined by setbacks, Frida Kahlo was able to transform her pain and emotional struggle into extraordinary works of art. The exhibition Viva la Frida in the Drents Museum is built around work of two of the most important Frida Kahlo collections in the world. Paintings and drawings from the Museo Dolores Olmedo and personal objects from the Museo Frida Kahlo. Museo Dolores Olmedo in Mexico City will loan its entire collection of paintings and drawings by Frida Kahlo. It concerns almost 30 objects. Dolores Olmedo was a businesswoman and a good friend of Diego Rivera. She devoted herself to the preservation of Mexican art and, under Rivera's guidance, purchased a large number of pieces by Frida Kahlo. The Olmedo collection is representative of Kahlo's oeuvre. like the portrait of Alicia Galland that Kahlo considered her first work of art, the biographical painting The Bus that referred to her accident, Henry Ford Hospital about her miscarriage, and My Nurse and I that refers to Kahlo's roots in the pre-colonial period. Also on loan are the famous self-portrait with Small Monkey and, without doubt, one of the most important self-portraits in her oeuvre, The Broken Column, which shows her broken body. The Museo Dolores Olmedo collection has been on display at various exhibitions in Europe, but work from this famous collection has only been loaned once to an exhibition in the Netherlands, and that was almost 30 years ago now. In addition to the Olmedo collection, a large selection of her clothing and personal items from the Museo Frida Kahlo have been made available for the exhibition in the Drents Museum. These objects, corsets, protheses, clothing, photos, etc. were stored by Diego Rivera after Kahlo's death in a bathroom and a number of closets in La Casa Azul, the Blue House, where she lived almost all of her life. Rivera stipulated that the door should remain closed for 15 years, but that would eventually be about 50 years. Research has been conducted on these objects, and for several years they have been presented in a permanent exhibition in Mexico and through traveling exhibitions. The Drents Museum wants to build on these new insights and present the work and life of Frida Kahlo in all its facets. In the 5 thematic sections, La Casa Azul, Portraiture, Gringolandia, Disability and Creativity, and Art and Dress, we will focus not only on her works of art, but also on her personal objects. And we will therefore be able to tell a more complete story. After all, art and life were always linked for Frida Kahlo. It is the very first time that the collections of Museo Dolores Olmedo and Museo Frida Kahlo are combined. This fact alone makes this an exhibition that is unique and different from all other Kahlo exhibitions. 2 guest curators are involved in the exhibition, Circe Henestrosa and Ganit Ancori. Henestrosa is a Mexican fashion curator who was closely involved in the research of Frida Kahlo's personal belongings from Casa Azul. She made several exhibitions about Kahlo and is also head of fashion at La Salle College of the Arts in Singapore. Ancori is professor of visual arts and women's gender and sexuality studies at Brandeis University and director of the Rose Art Museum, both in the USA. She is internationally known for her pioneering research on the artworks of Frida Kahlo. In addition to an extensive program of events, we are developing a short film to accompany the exhibition entitled Meet Frida, in which her biographical photos play an important role. The exhibition is accompanied by a catalogue with essays on her identity, her clothing and her art. In addition, the influence of Dutch artists such as Hieronymus Bosch and Vincent van Gogh on Kahlo is discussed. We will also look at the impact Frida Kahlo has had on contemporary art, fashion and music. The exhibition Viva la Frida, Life and Art of Frida Kahlo in the Drents Museum offers a unique, intimate and diverse view of Frida Kahlo. It shows how she constructed and expressed her identity, her enormous creativity and her bold and uncompromising art. By bringing together the collections of Museo Dolores Olmedo and Museo Frida Kahlo for the very first time, it is the chance of a lifetime to shed light on the life and art of the extraordinary artist Frida Kahlo.